Okay, now we're going to begin to filter by rows. And there's going to be a couple of ways we can do it. Obviously, this where object that we're going to introduce today will be one of them. But that is not the first choice. The first way we can filter filter rows is by cmdlet itself. And we've done this before. Here is an example that we did before. Get command and then get -*. Let's try that. Get command, and I want all of them that begin with the word get and then anything after that. Well, now I have filtered the rows out. All I have are the get commands. I don't have all the other commands and functions, by the way. So I have filtered some rows. Let's make this smaller. Let's only do the get commands that, let's go back down here, the get commands that begin with S, like that. Get S and then * for anything after that. And here's all the get S commands. Get storage jobs, get SMB, and so on. So a whole bunch of these scheduled tasks, if I want to get all my scheduled tasks. That sounds like an interesting one. So here's my get service command, our old friend. So I have indeed filtered these rows. And so that is one way that I can filter the rows. And indeed, this is all of everything that's in this object, all the rows that are in this object. Not all the columns, we know that, but all the rows that are in the object show on the screen right now. Let's use the get service command to do something similar. Get service, and then I want all the services that start with A. Well, there they are, all the services that have the name that start with A. Now remember that we are actually using the name parameter here, but it's a positional parameter. So rightly, here's what we're doing. Get service name A. Sorry, so all the names that start with A, and that's the exact, should give us the exact same output, which it did. So we are filtering by a parameter. So, well, that sounds interesting. Let's try the status then. Let's do the same thing. Instead of name, I'll put status. And I want all of them, well, we don't have any statuses that start with A. They're either running or stopped. So let's do, oops, status. So let's do S for all the stopped services. Right? So I should be able to get all of the ones where the status starts with S, and that would mean all the stopped ones. And what I'm going to get an error here. Why am I getting an error? Well, let's read this. A parameter cannot be found that matches the parameter name status. Oh, wait a minute. There is no status parameter. Let's look at the parameters in get service. Get helpful, get service. And we'll go up to this list of parameters, and we'll discover that there is a computer name parameter. So I could filter the rows by computer name. I could filter them by dependent services, display name, exclude, include, input object name. That's the one I was filtering by. Required services, and then the common parameter. Well, there is no status parameter. Some of the parameters, as you can see, are the same as some of the properties. There's a name property and there's a name parameter. Well, so that tells me that I can sort by, or not sort, excuse me, I can filter them by this parameter because I can call that property out in a parameter by the same name. But I have nothing here to filter status. So how in the world am I going to get just the status? If this is what I want, get service status, I can't do it. Well, that is where the filtering comes into play. Now in the next video, before I get into this where object command, I'm going to talk about filtering left.